You think you know your children? You think you've taught them right from wrong? Then one day your son's girlfriend corners you in your own kitchen and demands $50,000 to keep quiet about something that never happened. I'm a mother who raised my son alone after his father passed, and I never imagined the woman he loved would try to destroy everything I built. My name is Linda, and I'm 53 years old. I worked 2 jobs for 18 years to give my son Tyler a good life. I put him through college. I taught him to treat people with respect. When he brought Rachel home 6 months ago, I welcomed her with open arms. I made her favorite meals. I invited her to family dinners. I treated her like the daughter I never had. Rachel was charming at first. She complimented my cooking. She laughed at my jokes. She told Tyler how lucky he was to have such a caring mother. But I noticed small things. It's the way she watched me when she thought I wasn't looking. How she asked detailed questions about my finances. The casual inquiries about my retirement savings. 3 months into their relationship, Tyler mentioned they were looking at engagement rings. I was happy for him. He seemed genuinely in love. Rachel started spending more time at my house, often showing up when Tyler was at work. She'd help me with groceries or sit with me while I cooked dinner. I thought we were becoming close. Then came the Tuesday that changed everything. I was home alone, organizing some old photos in the living room. Rachel let herself in with the spare key I'd given her. She didn't call out a greeting, just walked into the room and sat down across from me. Her expression was different, cold, calculated. She said she needed to talk to me about something serious. I put down the photos and gave her my full attention. That's when she told me she'd been documenting things, recording conversations, taking photos. She said she had evidence of me saying racist things, mistreating her, and creating a hostile environment. I felt my blood run cold. None of that was true. I'd never said anything like that. I'd been nothing but kind to her. I asked her what she was talking about. She smiled. It wasn't a warm smile. It was the smile of someone who thinks they've already won. Rachel explained it very clearly. She had recordings she could edit. She had photos she could manipulate. She knew people at Tyler's company. She could ruin my reputation. She could turn my son against me. She could make sure everyone we knew believed I was a terrible person, unless I paid her $50,000. I sat there in complete silence. My heart was pounding, but my mind was suddenly very clear. This woman had come into my home, accepted my kindness, and now she was threatening everything I cared about. She was betting I'd be too afraid to fight back. She was betting I'd protect my relationship with Tyler at any cost. I asked her why she needed the money. She said that wasn't my concern. She said I had 48 hours to decide. Then she stood up, straightened her jacket, and walked toward the door. Before she left, she turned back and said Tyler would believe her over me. She said she'd make sure of it. After she left, I sat in that room for a long time. I wasn't crying. I wasn't panicking. I was thinking Rachel had made several mistakes. She'd underestimated me. She'd threatened me in my own home. And she'd given me 48 hours, which meant she needed that money desperately. I called my lawyer that same day, not a family attorney. It's a criminal defense lawyer I'd met through a friend years ago. I explained the situation. Kay listened carefully and told me exactly what to do. First, I needed to document everything. Second, I needed to get her to repeat the threat on camera. Third, I needed to protect Tyler without telling him yet. The next day, Rachel texted me asking if I'd made my decision. I told her I needed to discuss it with her in person. She agreed to meet me at my house again. This time, I was ready. I'd set up my phone to record video, positioned on the bookshelf behind some family photos. The angle captured the entire living room. Rachel arrived right on time. She sat in the same chair. She asked if I had the money. I told her I needed clarification first. I asked her to explain exactly what she was threatening me with. She repeated everything: the fake recordings, the manipulated photos, the plan to turn Tyler against me. She even mentioned specific colleagues of Tyler's she'd contacted. I asked her why she thought this would work. She leaned forward and said, "Mothers like me always paid. We were too afraid of losing our children, too afraid of being exposed, too weak to fight back." She said she'd done this before with her last boyfriend's mother and it had worked perfectly. That was when I knew I had everything I needed. I looked at Rachel and told her I wasn't giving her a single dollar. I told her I'd recorded this entire conversation. I told her I had a lawyer. And I told her she had two choices. She could leave my house immediately and never contact Tyler or me again. Or I could call the police right now and file a report for attempted extortion. Her face went white. She started backtracking immediately. She said I'd misunderstood. She said she was joking. She said she'd never actually do any of those things. I didn't respond. I just held up my phone and showed her the recording playing back. Her own voice threatening me. Her own words admitting she'd done this before. Rachel started crying. Then she got angry. She said I'd tricked her. She said Tyler would hate me for this. She said she'd tell him I'd attacked her. I stayed completely calm. I told her the police would be more interested in her confession to extortion than in any story she tried to spin now. She left without another word. I immediately saved 3 copies of that recording. I sent one to my lawyer, kept one on my phone. I uploaded one to a secure cloud storage. Then I sat down and waited. Tyler called me 2 hours later. Rachel had told him we'd had a fight. She said I'd accused her of terrible things and thrown her out of my house. She was crying. She said she didn't understand why I hated her so much. Tyler was upset. He asked me what happened. I told him to come over. Just him. I needed to show him something. He arrived within 30 minutes. I could see the confusion and hurt on his face. He thought his mother and his girlfriend couldn't get along. He thought this was about jealousy or control. I asked him to sit down and watch a video. I played him the recording from beginning to end. I watched his face as he heard Rachel's threats. As he heard her admit she'd done this before. As he heard her call me weak. When it ended, he just sat there staring at the blank screen. Tyler asked me why I didn't tell him immediately. I explained that I needed proof first. I needed him to hear it directly from her. I knew she'd try to manipulate the situation, and I needed evidence that couldn't be denied. He asked me what I wanted him to do. I told him that was his decision. I wasn't going to tell him who to date or who to love, but I wanted him to know the truth. I wanted him to understand what kind of person Rachel really was. And I wanted him to know I'd always protect him, even if it meant he was angry with me. Tyler left without saying much. I didn't hear from him for 3 days. During those 3 days, Rachel called me 17 times. She left voicemails begging me not to show Tyler the recording. She promised she'd disappear. She said she was sorry. When I didn't respond, the messages turned angry. She said she'd sue me for invasion of privacy. She said she'd ruin my life anyway. I forwarded every single message to my lawyer. On the 4th day, Tyler came back. He looked exhausted. He told me he'd confronted Rachel with the recording. She'd tried to deny it at first. Then she'd tried to explain it away. Then she'd admitted it but said she was desperate because of debt. Finally, she'd turned it around and blamed him for not taking care of her financially. Tyler had ended the relationship immediately. He'd contacted his company's security team because Rachel had claimed she knew people there. Turned out she'd been calling the main office pretending to be his wife, trying to get information about his salary and benefits. The company was now investigating her for attempted fraud. Tyler apologized to me. I told him he had nothing to apologize for. He'd fallen in love with someone who wasn't who she pretended to be. That happens. What mattered was that he saw the truth when it was presented to him. What mattered was that he chose integrity over manipulation. Rachel tried to contact both of us several more times over the following weeks. My lawyer sent her a cease and desist letter. She stopped. I heard through mutual acquaintances that she'd moved to another state. I don't know if she found another target. I hope her next victim is smarter than she expects. Tyler is doing well now. He's more cautious about relationships, but not bitter. He thanks me sometimes for handling the situation the way I did. He says a lot of parents would have either paid the money to make it go away or exploded and made everything worse. I tell him I just did what I had to do. The truth is, Rachel taught me something important. She thought mothers were weak because we love our children. She thought that love made us easy targets. She didn't understand that love makes us fierce. It makes us strategic. It makes us willing to do whatever it takes to protect the people we care about. I don't regret giving Rachel a chance to leave quietly. I don't regret recording that conversation. I don't regret showing Tyler exactly who she was. Some people might say I should have gone to the police immediately, but I wanted Tyler to see the truth himself. I wanted him to make his own choice about his relationship. Would I do anything differently? No. I protected my son. I protected myself. I documented everything. I stayed calm when someone tried to manipulate me with fear. And when it mattered most, I stood my ground. That's what mothers do. We don't always fight with loud voices or dramatic gestures. Sometimes we fight with strategy, with patience, with careful planning. We fight smart because we have too much to lose. Rachel made the mistake of thinking kindness meant weakness. She learned otherwise. Let me know in the comments, what would you have done in this situation? And do not forget to subscribe to Golden Years Diary for more stories like this.